Hey, welcome to the podcast. Good to have your ears with us.
Listen, we almost struck out with a phone topic. Have you ever been in an orgy?
Oh, yeah.
But we caught one right at the end.
Steve called us.
Yeah.
Was it Steve or did Brodie ring in?
Yeah, good point.
He would have been the one. No doubt about it. And Sam's interviewing skills were on show. Of course, when we got Seb Costello to chat about his interview with John Farnham's kids, Sam just took over, didn't he? We couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him.
I like a young Denton.
Yes, like a young Grimshaw.
Thank you.
And maybe you're trying out for the replacement, the current affair
Would it be
role.
the worst choice, Swanee? It'd be a bold move by 9.
It would be a terrible, terrible choice. You can't read.
Good point.
Shaun
That's a good
Micallef
point.
also drops in, and I talk about the weirdest story regarding Ruby Rose impersonating a magistrate.
Yeah.
That was nonsensical. But also, Misty Chrissie's here, and also the great Guy Montgomery joins us. He's a very funny man. Enjoy your podcast.
Yeah.
Chrissie, Sam and Browny.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Monday. We're all here for you. Jonathan, Dino.
It's great.
Oh!
It's great to be
We're
here.
so full of stories this morning.
A lot to get to. I've got a ripper phoner. I want all the tradies to fire up. It's right down their alley. And looking forward to Seb Costello. You're chatting to him, Swanee, as part
Yes.
of celebrity stuff. 'cause-
You will also be talking to him.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'll be there in the background. But I'm looking forward to asking him about the promo that ACA are currently running. When I just wrote it down here. I just noticed one that just flashed across the TV screens before, of course, because, of course, they're interviewing John Farnham's sons.
Yes.
And it's just amazing.
They're
man.
beautiful boys.
And they were just, the words of different songs were flashed across in graphics as they were asking questions. And right at the end, it had, the graphic was, will he live in fear?
Oh, my God. It's not...
Before they asked the sons the questions. I'm not sure you really need to sort of dress it up like that.
No, you don't.
But anyway, I'm sure Seb's got some fun stories around it.
My favourite singer from Masked Singer, Sheldon Riley, is coming in to sing us out. And have you noticed I've got a gentle black eye
What have you been punching
under
on?
here? Can you see it?
What's
What
that,
have you been doing all weekend?
All will be revealed before 7 a.m. That's called a radio tease.
Slap me down.
You can get chlamydia in your eye, can't you?
You can, John. Thanks for pointing that out.
Am I a koala? No, I am not.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Whatif.com is all about helping Aussies make the most out of every trip.
Book a hotel, flight, surfboard and snorkel all before you can say brekkie buffet.
Jump online or on the What If app and get started.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
The following program is classified M. It contains adult themes.
Oh.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Uncut.
I'm hoping you can come forth with your stories here. Bit of a racy Monday morning, Christine, just to get the week underway. I'm going to take you over to the Ukraine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been difficult viewing, hasn't it? Just following it all. Hoping that this doesn't turn into World War III, Christine Swan, but I tell you what, they're up to their neck. They're up to their neck in a lot of bad stuff. The Ukrainians obviously fighting off the Russians over there. So some of the citizens of Kiev, which is the capital of Ukraine, have had a novel way of coping. The coping mechanisms of war and the potential threat of a nuclear disaster, Swanee. They're not leaning towards taking iodine pills.
Meditation?
No meditation.
Tapping?
Tapping, no, none of that going on. Normally you take iodine pills in case, if there is a nuclear event, Swanee, you take the iodine pills just to soften things.
God, that's so grim.
So grim, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, they've thought, bugger this. We're going to zig. When everyone else is zagging, we're zigging. And last week, an organiser jumped on the website, the Telegram channel, and said, orgy on Sheka Vista. Wow. Sheka Vista is a famous hill, Swanee, just outside of Kiev. And that's
just those 3 words? Orgy on Sheka Vista.
Absolutely.
Let's get there.
Then it was further explained, Swanee, that there'll be an orgy just to keep us, keep some humour and keep some life and something to look forward to in these grim times. Well, all of a sudden, Swanee, 15,000 people have signed up for this mass orgy.
Yes!
On the outskirts of Kiev.
That seems a lot.
That's fun.
It's amazing, isn't
Are
it?
they mainly men or women? What's the ratio here?
Good
They
question.
are being told to head to the orgy in the event of an attack. No, It's 50-50, Swanee. It's
great.
It's 50-50.
Exactly.
Good odds.
7.5 thousand of each gender.
Sure.
It's quite amazing now. The hill, this famous hill, the Shikavista Hill, Swanee.
Some would say it's the new hill of content.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
it-
hey, well it is the new hill of content, Swanee. If you wanted prime position from some of the apartment blocks around there, well, all of a sudden there's no apartments. You cannot rent or buy any of these apartments, so they've dropped all these sites. Have dropped off realestate.com, Swanee. So obviously, if you wanted to view some of the action, Swanee,
Wow, man.
they're all gone. So they've been rented out, just been snapped up because they're thinking, well, if I can't be a part of the orgy,
I'll
tell you
be
what,
a
I'm going to
voyeur.
sit back and I'm going to be a voyeur and I'm going to watch it.
So is it hilly terrain? Sorry, it's on a hill. Is it foresty terrain? I just want to picture in my head.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Question.
No, it's open terrain.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's absolutely open. And it's just been, look, it hasn't been over-directed, but one simple direction or instruction for the attendees has been that they've been told, should it happen, they should indicate what kind of sex they're hoping for with stripes on their hands.
Okay, so what's the legend there?
Well,
Like one stripe is missionary or two stripes is gay or what?
well, there's no direction here. There's no direction. I've got no direction in the article, Swanee, about what
right.
it is.
There'd
obviously
probably
there'll
be a chart when you check
there'd have
in.
to be a chart, wouldn't there?
Yes,
Be some
absolutely.
sort of key chart.
And a
Yes.
refreshment station, and maybe like a
Taco truck,
a dinger station, a taco
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to be very.
Citromax.
It's going to be very
Citromax
safe.
is-
show
sponsor.
bags.
Going to be very, very safe. I would have thought. I think it's a very novel idea. I think it's a fantastic idea, Swanee. And, it's
Fact
been-
check: 3 stripes means anal, and 4 stripes means oral. Thanks, Jack.
God
Thank you.
almighty.
Thank you, Jack.
Really?
God
And
almighty.
was I right on the heterosexual gay anal oral or?
Oh,
Glad you're playing the ads.
thanks
now.
for the Sushi Hub ad was perfect.
Sorry. On this website, Swanee, it doesn't suggest that. It's just got those two offerings.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
Fact checking, Jack.
What if you got multiple? You're just going to have, you're going to be busy with your hands. Hey, you have your right hand loaded up with 3 stripes.
Sam would just
one
have-
stripe on your left.
Sam would have 11 stripes on his hands. I'll do all of them.
No, I'd have them on my forehead. I'll be loaded up. Hey, I'll be more
Look, I
tattoos
think-
than Dustin Martin.
Just on your forehead, John. Just for maximum ease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So give us. You know what? I didn't know where to go with this. I honestly did
I
not
think
know.
you eventually found out where to
Eventually,
go.
I found out with a very simple question. 13, 24, 10. Wait for it. Have you been in an orgy, Swanee?
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of thought and time and energy over the weekend.
Yeah.
Went into that question.
We're going to handle this with dignity and
Sure
class.
are. And I'm guessing, I don't know, I know Mr. Chrissie is coming up later, but did Brodie help you with that question in this article?
I'm pretty sure he did, actually.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
It's Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Nova 100, and we did ask 13, 24, 10 if you've ever been in an orgy, because not obviously, none of us have. We've got questions.
So that's right. The Ukrainians have decided they wanted an orgy because they wanted to show, well, in their words, it's an attempt to show that the more they try to scare us, the more we will transform it into something else.
My concern is, yeah, right.
Make love, not war.
Yeah.
Although they're lovers, not fighters.
Yeah.
Orgy-wise, wouldn't you be concerned that you'd be that person in the side, not knowing when to tap in, giving off nervous energy?
Look,
Well, that's what you think. It's like a tag team.
Well, no,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
when you
yeah,
want
you
to
give
turn
them a
of
slap.
something.
You're in, brother.
If you're a bit timid, you're just standing there looking like a freak.
yeah, they would definitely need some leaders.
A whistle.
Some orgy, like camp leaders.
Gotcha.
field marshal.
That comes in and says, this is how it works.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm sure that nobody, as we've just found out, nobody's really that a seasoned professional at orgies.
What are you saying? Like an instruction tent?
Yeah.
You can go over there to the
Pretty much.
right hand side if you need some advice.
Yeah, maybe they have a whistle and a cap.
Yeah.
You may be
And a
unsure
flag,
as
and
to
a
how
flag.
many stripes you want to put on your hand.
That's it. You need some assistance.
Because if you are an orgy person, you probably, as soon as you tell your friends that or anyone that, everyone's just going to see the word orgy when they look at you.
Absolutely.
You'd keep it secret, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Oh, Jackie reckons we actually do have someone. Steve.
Well, roll the dice with Stevie boy.
Steve in Bayswater. True or false, you've been in an orgy?
True.
Yes!
Steve, pleased
Goodness gracious me.
to make your acquaintance. Where was it and how many people were involved?
It was actually last Friday night
At a big 4 caravan park.
in the middle of the Melbourne CBD.
Wow.
This is amazing, Steve.
Is there any Rockefellers there?
Is there a secret Facebook page or like what? How did you get involved?
Yes, there's a couple of special Facebook pages and websites that you can go to. There's probably 1,000 people there, but not all of them participated.
Goodness gracious me. I'll say you can buy standing room tickets only.
What are they doing if they're not participating?
They are standing there watching.
Told you, Swanee.
With their hands in their pockets.
Stevie boy, over in Ukraine, if you go to this orgy on the hill, you can wear, you put stripes on your hands to indicate sort of what type of sex you have or, you know, whatever. Yeah, those sort of details of
Your
the
order.
minutia of it.
Yeah.
Your order, if you will. Did you have to do any of this sort of stuff at your CBD event?
No, it's very actual consensual.
Yep.
People ask before they touch. There's things like that. Are you happy with that? Do you like that? No, I don't like that. Things like that. So,
Steve, are there rules like men can only go with a partner, but women can go
Yes.
on their own?
So men.
yes, there are rules. There has to be men and women together, couples in. And if you want to leave, if the female wants to leave, the male has to leave with her.
Yep.
It's like
So-
the Thunderdome. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes, just so it doesn't end up a sausage fest.
Yep.
Yes.
We know.
Sausage fest.
We heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, do you have to wear a mask or do you wear a mask, Steve?
You can wear a mask,
Well, a COVID mask?
No, like a masquerade.
Oh,
a masquerade mask, yes.
I like one of Sam's ones with the
Yeah, with the ball.
ball.
Steve,
Yes.
this is fascinating. And is this something you do regularly? You've got a partner, obviously.
Yes, there are a lot of other places in Melbourne that do it as well.
does it have a big like neon sign out the front, or is it obviously discreet?
It's fairly discreet. It's in probably one of the biggest entertainment areas there in Melbourne.
And did you were you with someone at this function?
Yes, we played with a few other couples.
Yes, he said played. That's fun.
That's fun.
Steve, what was the ticket price, old boy?
It's about $140 a couple.
Competitive.
Reasonable.
That is reasonable. 140 bucks a couple.
$140 a couple.
Is that
A couple, yeah.
Is there like a bar there? Is there hospitality?
Yep.
Or?
Yes, there's 3 bars. There's 3 levels.
Can we keep your number, Steve? Because we're going to go, but we'll think of other questions I know once you're gone.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Sam, I'm
No
sure
worries.
Sam would have a couple of questions
Thank
driving
you.
in.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Steve.
like it was good to see you.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram. Sheldon Riley, an iconic musician who you may have seen on Eurovision, The Masked Singer, or recently the NRL Grand Final. And if you're in Amsterdam soon, you can see an upcoming gig, as after Eurovision, Amsterdam love him. Oh, great work, Sheldon.
What a busy bee, Sheldon Riley.
Good morning.
First things first, I saw you on Thursday at the Channel 10 upfronts where you performed Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Dino, can you imagine?
I cannot.
So I get this call and they're like, we want you to sing Ain't No Mountain High Enough. I was like, you guys really chose a buzzword there, didn't you, for Paramount? And then I
Yeah.
was like, how the hell am I going to make this song dark? And they were like, let's make it like dark and James Bond-esque. And I'm like, it is the cheesiest song known to man. But we got there. It was good.
Absolutely did it. There was a real sense of foreboding.
I want to hear it now. So was it slowed down? And
Yeah, it was slow down. I want to pitch it to Channel 10 and make lots of money.
It was so good.
Did you dress up for the occasion?
I did. I always
Always.
do. Always.
Yeah, I know you always dress up, but what in particular? Like you
Like
actually, we
white
could see
and
you.
sparkly. It was
But you
nice.
weren't like in a masked singer setup though. We could
No.
actually see you, couldn't we?
Yeah, that's it. That's
He
it.
looked like an
here we go.
angel dove, like a white,
I'll take it.
peacocky, feathery, sparkly.
Really?
Yes. And also, what I love about you is that you're surprisingly tall.
Yeah, everyone thinks everyone thinks I'm tiny, but I realize I think I just take photos in front of really weird things. Like I'm never just taking a photo on a couch or
Yeah, and
you
then
know, for
with those
size.
amazing heels, chunky heels, you're like this majestic magnificent creature. I mean, I can't speak highly enough of you, Sheldon, as you know.
Were you more nervous? Sorry, Darren. Go.
Hey, speaking of other versions of songs, can Swanee and I run this by your music ears?
Yep.
Lewis Capaldi doing Britney Spears' Every Time. Have you heard this?
He's done it already.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time I try to fly, I fall.
Nice. That's great.
It's great, isn't it?
I mean, he always sounds good though, right?
He does. He's got an extraordinary voice and a great personality. We're huge fans of Lewis here. Are there any songs that you sing at home that are probably unexpected that you would love to record?
Unexpected? No, I mean, I can't do much else. I only sing, so anything I want to sing, I usually already have.
Yeah.
Nothing really.
I, of course, am obsessed.
Do you have any suggestions?
with-
I do.
Here we go.
Nothing Else Matters by Metallica.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
My mum's been asking me to sing that for years.
Really?
I think I just choose not to, just because she asked me to.
Out of spite.
What about
Naughty son.
What about If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher?
Yeah, sure, I could do that.
Oh, I can hear all of these
Yeah,
songs
absolutely.
with your magnificent pipes behind them. Never Enough you did on Masked Singer, which brought me to tears. And every time I hear it, I think of you. I think you did a better job than the original. It is available now on Spotify.
It is. I mean, I'm not releasing anything else till next year. I'm writing an album at the moment and focusing on that. So I was like, I'll just record the Masked Singer songs and release them slowly, just so people have something.
What have we got from Masked Singer? We've got Never Enough.
There's a few. There's Stay. And there's How Will I Know, which was a fun one actually. How Will I Know, the Whitney Houston one. I slowed that down and made that all pretty.
Yeah, that was fun.
Is Not the Same. Was that on did you do that
That
on
was
Masked Singer?
Eurovision.
That was my Eurovision song. Yeah, wrote that years and years and years ago, and I told them, don't let this be the Eurovision song. It's too sad. It's too personal. Like, it's perfect. I'm like, great, cool, we'll go with that.
And they loved it over there, and you're heading off to Amsterdam.
I am. There's this massive festival in Amsterdam. It's like the all-stars of Eurovision, and I don't know, unless you know the Eurovision world, it's freaking crazy. It's like show pageanting. The people over there are obsessed with it. It's
They
crazy.
really
but,
are, aren't they?
They're like full on, but I don't even know how I got invited to it. They're only winners over there and like the best. Well, actually, no, people like me over there. I'll take it. But
Live it up, mate.
yeah,
How much time?
it's an exciting one.
Well, we've got to ask you about the NRL Grand Final because people absolutely loved you there.
Oh,
to the
thank
point where they were dishing the Australian icon, Jimmy Barnes. Mate,
Yeah,
you wiped the floor with Jimmy.
Thanks. It was a fun one. I mean, anything that could have went wrong, but we made it. It made it. I was in this box, right, and I was like, let's just walk out and get in the box. And we get, and they're like, no, we're gonna wheel you out there. And I'm sitting in this metal box for 30 minutes before I went. It was full on. But
Did you ever think that you would be at the NRL Grand Final?
No.
Singing. I mean, it's so brilliant.
I remember having this argument with my dad, and he just wanted to teach me all things footy. I'm like, I'm never going to have to step on a footy field, ever. It's never going to happen.
And you did,
I
but
did
not,
it.
not in the way that he expected.
No, but I still did it after all that. Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Not really. No, I mean, after you do Eurovision, that's 250 million people watching, so
Yeah.
80,000 is not that. you know?
Yeah.
But they're in front of you, though.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
in-
That's
they're
true.
in your faces there.
Yeah, that's true. It's all just a big blur, right, once you're
Yeah.
out there.
Hey, Sheldon, when you're in Amsterdam,
Yeah.
it won't take long, but I just need you to mail me some things back.
Okay.
Thanks, brother.
Oh, I bet.
Never Enough is on Spotify. We love you. And before you do what's about to happen, can you honestly think about Nothing Else Matters doing a cover of that for us?
Let's see how it goes, right?
We would love to hear it. We'll debut it here. If you sort it out, we'll play it here.
Without
All right,
question.
done.
Yeah.
Lock
All
it
right.
in.
Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's all there is to do. Are you going to sing us out, man?
I mean, I could.
Yes.
Yeah, they were like,
Really?
you should say, hey, do you want me to sing you out? I'm like, that's the most awkward thing to do.
Yes. Nothing else matters. He hasn't had time to do Nothing Else Matters, Dana.
All right, let's see what he does.
I'm so excited. I'm going to have a physical reaction every time.
Calm down over there, Swan.
You know, this is
that's
a cappella.
pressure.
This is a cappella.
Yeah, right, let's do it. So this is Easy on Me by Adele.
Oh, God, I'm so excited.
Jesus.
All right, here we go. There ain't no gold in this river, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence. Baby, let me in. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel I didn't know time to choose.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Sheldon Riley,
chose to do.
I have got goosebumps everywhere. You are extraordinary. I can't wait to see
I love
what
you
you do
guys.
next. You're amazing.
Let's go to dinner at your house. Is
Yes,
what
the lamb I did buy a lamb shoulder on Saturday
Look
in
at that.
preparation.
Spotify Sheldon.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Okay, so the theme of this week for Swanee is brave.
Brave.
I've been very brave, Jonathan.
Good.
I was brave at the 10 up fronts when I was suspended from the
Yeah,
ceiling.
that was a good effort.
And I was brave on Saturday, and let me tell you why. Did you notice the last 2 days of last week I was on painkillers because I thought I had
Yes, I noticed you had a sore tooth.
I had a terrible toothache, and what you might not know is I've got a terrible phobia of dentists, like many people do, because I had one bad experience many years ago that involved a man on my chest chiseling a tooth while it was still in my head and picking it out with long neck tweezers.
Hey, that's fun.
Okay, it was horrific. So when my tooth started to hurt, I didn't want to go and see someone, so I was just taking Panadol and whatever. Anyway, it got pretty bad. My whole face was sore, and I thought I'm gonna have to go and see a tooth doctor. So I went online, found a dentist that was open. My dentist, who, by the way, I haven't seen since before COVID, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe 5.
Yeah, it
I
slips
said
away,
that day.
doesn't
It does
The
slip
dentistry
away.
Stuff during COVID.
It does slip away. So I haven't seen a dentist for a long time, and I found a place in the centre of the universe. It was open on a Saturday. Couldn't believe it. One appointment left,
It was meant to be.
and I went along, and we found the problem. There was an X-ray taken, and the offending tooth was identified as the top wisdom tooth. The wisdom tooth.
Oh, no.
The Wizzy.
You still got the wisdom tooth?
I do. I had 2 out, and then one of those was that terrible moment.
Ah, yeah.
So then I haven't gone back to get the other
Scarred
2.
mentally.
Yeah. So it's always been in the back of my mind, I've got to get these wisdom teeth out. Anyway, this wisdom tooth was now causing the problem. And he said to me, look, it's got to come out. It's no good. And there's a huge hole in it. That's why it's sore. And the hole's been there for years. And it's got to come out. And I said, okay, sure. In my mind thinking, you will never see me again. I'm going to leave here and live with the pain as long as I shall live.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
You're going to book a faux appointment. You just won't
Correct.
show
And then
up.
I'll cancel it in a week. That was my plan. And I said, okay, sure, I'll get my phone and we'll schedule it in. When's it got to come out? And he goes, it's coming out today.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I said, what?
Give me
He
the
goes-
gas.
He goes, it's coming out right now.
Yes.
And so I've learnt this new tapping thing, which eases my anxiety. So I've got my hand on my sternum. I'm tapping, and he goes, oh, you're tapping. And I said, yes, I've had a very bad experience.
There's a bit of McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street about what's
There is too.
It really works, guys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it in a different break.
Jordan Belfort, have a look at it.
Anyway, I did it. I reclined in that chair and I opened my mouth and he took my tooth out.
Oh, you sun gun.
Look at the hole in it.
Jesus. Have a look at it.
And then the dental nurse gave it to me. There's a huge hole in it. He said that would have been hurting for
Mate, you need a
years.
semi-trailer to get that in. It's huge.
I know. And do you know what? It took 90 seconds. I've not taken any painkillers since. I'm here to tell you that dentistry has changed.
Did he gas you up or needle you up?
Needle, and that didn't hurt.
Fair
It was
dinkum.
utterly painless and quick. I went to the supermarket afterwards.
Well done, Swanee.
Like, no big deal.
That's awesome.
So I'm just here to tell you, if you haven't been to the dentist since COVID, go along. If you've got a phobia, go along because things have changed.
I like that.
I'm so brave, aren't I?
He must be right. He must have been a hot dentist, was he?
It's a lovely man.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your 7 o'clock. It's Monday. And Sam Pang, fresh as a daisy.
Good morning, Melbourne.
How do you do? Did you have a good weekend?
Had a very busy weekend, Christine. But
Did you?
I'll take you through it. No, I may not either.
You don't look puffy.
No
Please,
drink. Christine.
The Botox is working, brother.
Too busy, Swanee. Too busy.
Oh.
Does look fresh,
There's
doesn't
a big.
He looks really fresh.
I reckon since I saw you on Friday morning, I had 2 things on Friday night, 3 things on Saturday, and 1 thing on Sunday. All works. So it isn't good work, but it's just like I just wanted to start with 3 words.
Yes.
Good morning, Melbourne.
Yes. Is that it?
3 words.
Well done.
Good morning, Melbourne. Listen.
Yeah, that is 3 words.
Why are you
I want to
saying
start
that?
I want to start with 2 words.
Yeah, what is
Good
it?
morning, Melbourne. Phil,
no,
if it's
it's
good
3
enough for Joe
words.
Biden, Dino, it's good enough for me.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Oh, God.
Made in America.
He's cool. Brownie's done. Jesus, that is
no.
a president. President
There
of
should be a retirement age, really, shouldn't there?
Yeah, I don't know
to
if
be the
you-
president of one of the biggest, the most powerful countries in the world, there should be a retirement.
Maybe he was talking about the great pageant, Maiden America.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly, Christine.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I wouldn't have thought so, though.
Get on the radio.
He doesn't know where he is.
Nurse.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
This is what happened over the weekend.
News, sport, drama and entertainment.
It's the weekend that was with Sam Pang.
Well, it's more my weekend. I did hint that it was a pretty big weekend. Since I saw you last on Friday night, I did an in-conversation with Lawrence Mooney at the Athenaeum about his book, Embracing
What's his
Your
book
Limitations.
about?
It's called Embracing Your Limitations, and it's a parody of a self-help book.
Great.
I think it's amazing. So we did that. Then I went to the Basement Comedy Club and did a spot there. Saturday morning, I popped into our friend Matt Preston and on his little ABC radio show and had a little chat. He says to say hello.
What did you talk to him about?
No, he talked to me about me, which was...
How long were you on the radio with him?
Mate, I reckon 20 minutes. And it was like, you can't duck and weave for that long, you know what I mean?
Is that the longest you've talked about yourself in the history of Samuel Pang?
Hard,
Probably,
yeah, almost.
yeah.
Yeah, almost. But, you know, he's such a beautiful man. And I do actually love him.
Chrissy Johnson's on the show with him, isn't he? Is it just during footy season? He's like his footy correspondent.
Is he?
Is he
so.
really?
Yeah, he is.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
I'd listen to that.
Bloody oath.
He says the big hello. And then Saturday night, two more shows at the Basement. And then yesterday I've been paying attention. So I've been full, right? Yeah. You know, my biggest takeaway from the whole weekend is at the Basement Comedy Club when someone comes up to me and says, "Can Brownie really not say the word phenomenon?" This is my take. This is all I remember. Oh, that was wonderful, by the way. Dino,
classically hard word.
I
though,
did
isn't
pop
it?
in. Dino did pop in on Saturday night, so we had 2 beers post show. Well, I had 2 beers, and then all of a sudden, a tray of tequilas came over, sent over by an anonymous benefactor this morning.
Wow.
I like that.
Does that
I was at the
still
Cricketers'
happen?
Arms when we went there a couple of weeks ago. We went to the Cricketers' Arms, and a couple of schooners came over from the other side of the bar.
It's still a big thing when people just send over. I think, like, I'm very grateful, and we couldn't even
I
find
didn't
them.
even know that still happened.
You want to look over the room and have the benefactor nod and
Yes.
do a
Yes.
across the room cheers.
Exactly.
We don't know where these came from.
If you are that anonymous benefactor, please call 132410. We'd like to officially thank you.
But I did, of course, I passed them on to Dino and his friends, and they launched.
How were
Imbibed
they?
themselves.
They were delicious. I had 2 of them
I used to like a very high quality tequila.
with the salt and the lemon, all the works.
I did.
I love it.
But
Love a good one. There's
Yeah,
nothing
you
better.
do love a good.
What's
By the way,
that?
that got you over the marathon.
I did too.
There's a
Yeah, when I
super
was-
expensive brand in a blue and white
Yeah,
ceramic.
I can't remember what it is.
And it's got a bell on the top.
cool
It's
as
like
hell.
$300
It
a
is,
bottle.
yeah.
It is delicious.
Now, I think you'll find that the best one is still the
one with the
tequila
hat.
with the hat as the bottle cap. That's
the old Sierra, I think it's called.
That's the one, Sonia.
With the hat.
Yeah.
Remember it did get me through that.
Do
punch.
you drink
shot
out
hat.
of the hat? Yeah.
Yeah, shot it.
Shot
The
at.
hat turns into a shot.
It did get me through the last 2 days of that New York Marathon, though.
I know it did,
At
mate.
the end of it, absolutely. I was drinking full glasses by
When
the
your
end of
ass
it.
was hanging out.
Oh, gee.
So anyway, someone comes up and says, "Can he really not say phenomenon?" I said, "Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice."
Phenomenon.
They loved it.
Whoa.
Because it reminded me.
Phenomenon.
Remember,
Sorry.
on a slightly different though, but you know, remember that wonderful time. Actually, I don't think we got time for dinner. We got time. Play thank. You know, remember thank you. Remember you weren't listening one morning, and then your automatic reaction was to say thank you.
Maybe that's my favourite Eminem. I know you asked me yesterday.
Oh, my name
Maybe
is.
that was, yeah, maybe it was.
yourself.
Oh, do you, Sam?
Jonathan. Sam.
Thank you.
I forgot the context of that. That's
The
unbelievable.
context is he's not listening. The 3 of us having a chat, and we all look at you, and he just automatically assumes someone's paid him a compliment. He says, "Thank you."
Thank you.
You idiot.
If in doubt, just
in doubt.
show
So
gratitude.
we loved that so much.
Mate,
that
when
we,
you've had the previous 20 years, what I've been through.
I know, John.
You know, where else you go? It's the default position.
exactly.
Absolutely.
I remember we put it into.
what you taught me. Yeah, for that I pay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, it did not end there, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
My personal favourite.
You would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say.
Thank you.
So anyway, this is
John,
it made me
bring
think.
us so much joy.
Sing it out loud. Somebody say.
Thank you. I like that one.
Like that one, do you?
Like that one.
I like that one. So anyway, listen, if you don't know what we were talking about last week, you had to go at Phenomena, and it was brutal.
Global. It's a global.
I don't know.
A global concern.
Phenomenon.
The one thing.
Phenomenon.
Yes. Nope. It's not.
Phenomenon.
Oh my God.
There you go. Got it.
Say it one more time and you.
Phenomenon.
Just the last consonant.
Missed the M.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Well, no. Well, obviously I didn't get it right because it's an N at the end.
He's got it
But
now,
I
though.
had to rearrange the mouth. Phenomenon.
Yes,
there you go.
Bang.
Doesn't matter. We've grabbed the genius that was your 4 goes at that, and
Beautiful.
we've put it into the wonderful LL Cool J song. Have a listen.
Phenomenon. 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 Phenomenon.
So they're the 4. That's the 4 different goes you had. It right.
You have had a busy week.
I'm fresh.
You are.
I've got to stay off the drink. I grabbed the best one, the cleanest one. Because that one there, Swanee, is with all 4 different types.
Yeah, yeah.
This one, though, is I've grabbed the clean one. This is art.
Phenomenon. 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 Phenomenon.
I'm with you, Swanee.
It's so good.
You bring so much joy to me and my life.
do.
Thank you, John.
Don't worry.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
We don't do a hell of a lot of NRL talk here, especially in the off-season. The NRL Grand Final was last week, Swanee, and it was between the Parramatta Eels and Penrith Panthers. Panthers won easy. However, there's been an interesting follow-up from it because unbelievably, Eels forward Ryan Madison was offered. I didn't know this is a rule in the NRL.
Ryan Madison's right.
That's right. Ryan Madison was offered a fine or a 3-week suspension for a crusher tackle. Now, there's certain offences, Swanee, where you can take the fine or take the suspension.
Like pluck a duck.
Like pluck a duck, absolutely. Hey, I like that comparison.
Thank you, John.
Well, Ryan Madison needs to dress up like a duck because he's decided, instead of taking a $4,000 fine for this particular crusher tackle in the grand final last week, a $4,000 fine, which, mind you, is tax deductible for professional footballers because it is a work expense.
I'm gathering from this conversation that you would go the fine every single time.
I would have thought so. $4,000, Swanee. After tax, Swanee, it probably cost you $2 and a bit grand.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's decided to go for the suspension. A 3-week suspension, mind you.
Are these pre-season games or real games?
Real games. So he'll miss the first 3 games of the premiership season next year.
That sounds odd.
The club couldn't possibly be supportive of this move.
Well, how could you be? How could anyone be supportive of this move? It was unbelievable.
This sounds like a joke.
Especially after, no, this is not a joke. This has been a big story up north of the border. Especially not after he just recently signed a new $2.4 million multi-year deal going forward.
No way this stands.
Mate, absolutely. He's made the decision. So he's actually, you have to obviously say, you have to submit what you want to do last week, so you can't rescind that. You can't
3
say
games.
Yeah, when he starts to get his brain back together post-season after he's had a few beers, you can't go, oh, no, actually, you know what, I'll play and just pay the $4,000.
Brownie, as a fellow elite athlete that's played at this level, what was he thinking? Like,
Well,
how do you justify it? Sometimes in a situation you can go, oh, hang on, this is what's really going on.
How do you justify it? Exactly.
Can
So, no, you can't justify
In the
it.
AFL, they don't have that choice.
They don't have that choice. I always thought it'd be good to have some of the offences to do that. Most players would obviously take the fine, no question about it. One of his State of Origin teammates, he played State of Origin this year, so he's a good player. One of his teammates, Aaron Wood, says he's just one of the tightest humans you'll meet.
Really? It is that?
He said, I can't believe it. There's no way I'd miss a game. I'd pay $50,000 to play one game.
Well, if you think
That's
about,
unbelievable.
I wonder if
It's unbelievable.
He's going to lose. Has he done the maths? Do you know if his contract is performance based? Is he on a per game? You know, is he on a per game?
Well, no, because he's just signed that new deal, which would be a fixed rate contract. So no matter whether you play or don't play, he probably gets paid.
He's got 3 weeks off.
I love it. And his justification was, he said, I just feel that $4,000 is pretty hefty, considering I've already paid close to $4,000 in fines this year for things that are absurd.
How much money is he on? 2.4 million, you said.
2.4, you know, over a few years. So he might be on, say, 700 a year, Swanee, 700,000 a year. He said, at the end of the day, I have personal things I need to worry about outside of rugby league. I just didn't think it was warranted. If you do something wrong at work, they don't take money off you.
Oh, my God. He is the sort of guy that turns up on a date with a voucher.
Yes. Yes.
You know, those dining books.
Yep. Or a dinner party with a bottle of red. When only half of it's drank, he takes that home with him.
He's a dog.
What's wrong with that?
I was going to say my mate used to roll up with a 6-pack at a party. He'd drink till he couldn't talk, and then he'd leave with a slab.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
It's Shaun Micallef, comedian and author too. See him on ABC a lot. Shaun Micallef, back to you.
Like that.
Thoughts, feelings about that?
You'll have to update that song now because I'm not on the ABC. You'll have to change that lyric.
Yeah, I know.
I'm nowhere.
Great preparation.
I'm here.
How does that feel to say goodbye to that juggernaut of a program?
Well, you know, 10 years, I feel like the circle is complete. I feel like we can, move on. I feel comfortable. I feel happy. I feel like I've got out just before the audience turned. It's always it's an important showbiz trait, isn't it, to be able to just pick the moment when the audience goes, oh, for God's sake.
I don't think the audience was ever going to turn.
I don't think so. Are you going to be like Tom Brady, though, the famous quarterback in America that retired to spend more time with his family? And
Yes.
then 40 days later,
Really?
unretired, and it's cost him his marriage.
Went back to work.
Oh, so he spent time with his family, which is good.
40 days.
Didn't like them,
No.
Yeah.
and then threw them away.
And mind you, he's married to a supermodel, Giselle Bundchen, and a few kids, and he didn't like the look of that, so he decided to go back to work.
No, I think I'll be okay. I don't think I'll be like Tom. I feel committed to the idea of new things. I like to produce and direct and move behind the camera now that I'm a more mature man.
Oh, is that it? Did you just announce you're retiring from actually performing just then?
Oh, no. I mean, if people want me to do stuff, I'll be happy to. I like to be challenged, like Sam. So I feel like when you write your sitcom, it's in your drawer. I know it's coming along, and you need someone playing an eccentric uncle. Then I'll come in for those 2.5, 3 eps.
If that's what you want to
for
do.
that arc. Yeah.
I think I've read this book. I really, really enjoyed it. I just don't know sincerity. I've read more than you would think.
Read the blurb,
Chrissie.
I have not read the blurb. I've got lots of things. Either there's covered is your relationship with the Logies. You meet Jerry Lewis. Your stories about working on. Is it Full Frontal?
You have to prove it to me. Yes, it's Full Frontal.
Was it Full Frontal? Because you talk about finishing up at.
Can we get a lie detector? I'd like to do a lie detector
you can lie
test.
if you want.
Yep.
The way you finish your chapter on Full Frontal was it was time to go.
Well, hang on, you're reading that.
Yeah, but that's because I marked it.
Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. Well, thank you, Sam. That's very nice.
What
of you
does
to-
that mean, Sean? Was it towards the end? Was it getting a mess? Was it the people?
Full Frontal was a great show, and it's a real pity they don't have them now. That sort of show, because it's a showcase, and it's also a great way to learn. But they used to give you these little tapes. For example, we did The Nanny. We did a parody of The Nanny, which I never liked the idea of parodies of comedy shows, because how do you do that? How do you do that effectively?
You weren't the nanny, were you?
No, I wasn't. Kitty Flanagan was the nanny.
Yeah.
Wow. You would have been Mr. Sheffield.
I was Mr. Sheffield.
You hadn't seen The Nanny either. But.
I hadn't seen The Nanny, and then they gave me the VHS of The Nanny. Said, "Well, here you go. You look at Mr. Sheffield," and I didn't watch it. So I'd never seen The Nanny. Couldn't be bothered watching it, which is a pity, because Kitty's Fran Drescher was very good, I can't remember.
How was you, Mr. Sheffield?
My Mr. Sheffield. Well, I even changed the lines. I was even calling her Nanny Fine. Is that what Sheffield called her?
Yeah, Nanny Fine.
Nanny Fine. Oh, well, that's all right. I got that right. But I couldn't remember my lines, and they're on auto cue. Really? I couldn't remember them. I just wasn't, and I didn't do an impression. I don't know what it looks like.
You sound a bit like, I remember when Matt Doran had to go overseas to interview
Adele.
And didn't listen to her new album.
That is unforgivable.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
you've done virtually the same thing, though.
Yeah, that's true. But his is worse. His crime is worse because it's Kitty Flanagan. Who cares? You know, you talk about Adele. You know, I've let down Adele.
That's a very good
Matt
point.
Doran has.
How do you live with
There
yourself?
wasn't enough Milo Kerrigan.
You don't think?
No, there wasn't enough. You know, that's why Full Frontal fell over.
Well, I think Full Frontal. This is back in the 90s. I think probably Milo Kerrigan was probably wrong then.
He got cancelled.
Yeah, he would have got cancelled today.
Driving here today, were you driving thinking Jonathan's going to bring up Milo Kerrigan?
Yeah, there's nothing more certain.
Well, I was listening on the way, and I was surprised he wasn't talking about it then.
I like predictability.
7 o'clock in the morning.
I like guests to be comfortable, knowing full well we're going to get it.
All right, can you
their greatest hits?
Phenomenon, quick.
Phenomenon.
See, you can't teach an old dog. That's right.
Another thing I picked up from it was that there are certain times in your life when you're involved in live performance where where you're struggling to remember your lines. And I think there was a play where you decided to walk around the set and look for places where you could write lines down just in case you needed them during the performance.
I was worried. Yes, there was a play called Boeing, and it's a French bedroom farce, and I played the Playboy. This is not a good successful show. I was completely miscast in this role. We had 3 weeks of rehearsal. I had the lion's share of the lines. Yeah, and I found there was a bureau, like a desk, an escritoire, where I could sit, and I thought, well, I'll just write some of the lines down on this blotter.
Fantastic.
So, and I wrote a little bit on the set here and there, but then I became very tied to it. So I then had to move to those areas and look just behind the pillar slightly in the variegated edges and read the lines. So the next time I did a play, which was The Odd Couple, made sure I learnt it.
That's a wise outcome.
That's
there.
an advance.
Didn't Marlon Brando write his lines on a card and then stick it to the face of the person that he was talking to?
I tried to do that.
It's a missed opportunity for you,
I
Shaun.
tried to do that with the cast, but the audience would have noticed the biro and probably the piece of paper.
What about anxiety? Seems to be a bit of a running theme too with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Look,
even you are worried about these things.
You got to worry. You got to worry. I mean, I used to think that if I wasn't scared or worried or anxious, then I wasn't doing the job. And all it is adrenaline. It's actually a good thing to have coursing through your body. The nerves are actually a good thing. And if you don't have the nerves, if you don't feel the adrenaline, then it probably is time to hang up your coat,
Time to go.
Yeah, I reckon. If you don't care anymore. So that's why in the case of Full Frontal, I thought, well, if I'm not learning my lines and I'm not treating my fellow actors with respect, Kitty Flanagan, who I admire and admired greatly, I couldn't even muster it up for her.
Shaun, are you a calmer person the older you get?
Oh, yeah, I've become very mellow. When I started, Dino, I was very, very hungry, very, absolutely ravenous for whatever it was, because I think I started late. I started when I was 30, showbiz. And I think it was I had an insatiable appetite for it. Now, 30 years later, I have a taste for it. So I'll be very selective in what I do, and I think I'll try and do things I haven't done before, Sam.
Like what?
But I was going to say, there's nothing you haven't done. You've done movies, you've done stage, you've done television, you've done radio, now you've written.
Can I suggest being lowered in a harness in front of 1,000 people at the 10 up front? That was fun on Thursday. I did that.
Your tooth was hurting too, wasn't it, at the time?
It was.
Yeah.
It was very brave, Shaun.
I have done a harness. I have flown above my own set in Mad as Hell. There are very few things that you can put together.
Have you agreed to having a tooth extracted, a surprise extraction?
I have had a tooth removed. Browny, I'll show you here.
Confirm it, round.
Confirmed. Confirmed.
Had that put out. Cankerous old tooth, which the dentist took out and said, wow, that should have come out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they said you can have a root canal, you can have one put in, or you can just lose it. And I thought, what the hell?
Just lose it.
The root canals are so long.
I've got 17 of them. Yeah, and apparently you have to maintain your
I've got
teeth.
17 more of them. It's true. That is a fact.
I'm very concerned about this strategy of doing new things when there's nothing to do.
I would like to be challenged by other artists. I'd like to help realise their vision. When you do your movie. When you go, the Nova team, breakfast team goes on the holiday to Sardinia to the unfinished hotel, the standard plot device of any 70s.
I can't wait for this.
I will happily be there as the foreign, the concierge or something like that. At the
So
hotel.
light.
Is
Sounds
that
like a
Maybe
plan.
bring back Who Dares Wins.
Oh,
That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to see you in a shopping
What's that?
centre.
Sean, is there a chapter on your radio career in
Oh
here?
yes, I don't know whether it makes a whole chapter, but it's certainly there.
What's-
I've got a great line about radio in there. It's not a funny line; it's a philosophical line. I say, I thought radio was beneath me, but it was beyond me.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Remember that?
whoa.
What do you think of that?
Amazing.
That's it.
That's the sort of thing that should be on the cover. In fact, it should have been called that.
Yeah, so you went with some big names for your quotes. Celia Pacquola, a complete genius.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult. Denise Scott.
Yes.
Auntie Donna's there. Graham Kennedy. Kate McLennan. Rhoda
Well,
McManus.
actually, Kate McLennan one's wrong because that's actually Kate McCartney, and the publishers made a mistake. Doesn't matter.
They're the
I
same
suppose.
people
Yeah,
anyway.
That's right.
Cannot wait to devour this, Sean. Tripping Over Myself. Get Sean's memoir. It's out now.
Can't
Thank
wait
you,
to
as
read
always,
this.
for coming in.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and shall I throw to the song as I usually do?
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
please.
What do you-
Here is Guy Sebastian with Kryptonite.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Saw a headline on the weekend on the Herald Sun website, and I just thought, I'm going to bring this to the boys because it is the most bizarre headline and most bizarre story I've seen in a long time. Here's the headline. Ruby Rose accused of impersonating a magistrate in Broadmeadows.
What?
I'm in. I read that. I am in. Every single word. Hollywood actor Ruby Rose has been accused of masquerading as a magistrate in a suburban Melbourne courtroom, Broadmeadows, in a bizarre case to land in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, this is being heard.
This is not real.
It is real. A guy called Mark Lawler has tried to launch civil action against former MTV presenter and Australian model Ruby Rose Langenheim. I didn't know that was her surname. Claiming she impersonated Magistrate Martin Grinberg at Broadmeadows Magistrates Court on October 11, 2017. So what happened was Mr. Lawler was there for an unrelated case, and the magistrate presiding over his case, he's like, hang on a minute. You are not Martin Grinberg. You are, in fact, Ruby Rose.
What?
Yeah. When in this case in the Supreme Court, it's come to this now. When they said, "What makes you think, sir, that the magistrate was not Martin Grinberg and was in fact Ruby Rose on that occasion in Broadmeadows?" He said, "The dead giveaway is a song called I Feel Good by Pitbull, the great man, which talks about this.
Put on a jacket 'cause these diamonds give you chills.
These references," Mark Lawler says, are direct references in regard to Ruby Rose impersonating a judge in a real court case I was involved in. He said the diamonds in the song, Dino, your face.
I am
Diamonds in the song.
I'm struggling to follow.
Are you?
Nothing against you. It's just like this is what.
He said the diamonds in the song refers to Ruby Rose and the jacket refers to her wearing a black robe, jacket or cloak, black covering of some sort to disguise her Hollywood distinguishable features.
Why was she doing this?
Just for shits and giggles, apparently.
Was she doing this, Swanee?
She was not doing this.
You saying Ruby Rose was not in Broadmeadows in 2017?
She absolutely
that
was not.
It would have been right there with Lionel Messi in Bundura and Chevy
true.
Chase in East Brunswick.
And the great Dolly Parton in Belgrade.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. What adjective did you use, Jonathan, to describe the day today? You looked outside and you said, what a...
Magnificent day.
Yes.
I have to remind I use magnificent so often now that I have to remind myself that it's not actually the right word, that it was originally magnificent.
Well,
Because I wasn't here for that. So did you mispronounce magnificent?
It was
Yes,
actually at
I did.
our podcast party
You
with
know, that loose one with like nude people and people setting their
Brownie's
chests.
podcast one with you and Dino and
Gotta be
Campbell Brown and
loose.
Bro.
in the
Gotta be
wild.
loose.
And Brownie, I was recording him and he gave us this little gift.
magnificent. It was about midnight.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Brodie telling us that. Brodie said, "No, you got to go home now, everyone, because we had work the next day."
Yeah.
I nearly knocked Brodie out.
You did.
Yeah, I
He said,
bet.
"Do not tell me what to do."
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
How about some tropical stuff?
Monday, October the 10th.
If I could have anything right now, I'd have a sense of the day.
Thank you very much, Kristen. I'll give it to you. I just want to start by saying two words. Good morning, Melbourne.
Every time you do it, I go, oh my God, it's not 2 words.
No, it's not. Sorry. Well, I thought it was 2
Yeah,
words.
it seems it.
Joe Biden thinks it's 2 words.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Made in America.
And doubles down.
How can you make that mistake?
Easy mistake.
Maiden.
Easy.
Maiden America.
Yeah, the Maiden.
M-A-I-D-E-N.
Maiden America. New show.
Sometimes though, in that Made in America words or acronyms, they drop the little words, don't they?
Yes.
They drop the little ones, so he's just conveniently dropped.
Okay.
M.A.
All right, then.
They're Made in America.
Yeah, I get it, mate. I get it. All right, get settled down. Hey, I know you're a bit silly today. You're a bit tired because your voice is you're losing your voice after speaking at the anti-vax rally on Saturday in the city.
Oh, look at his face as well, Pang. He looks like a detective who breaks the rules.
I know.
He's growing a beard.
Are you growing a beard?
Well, not necessarily. Dino put it beautifully. I look like an alcoholic.
Detective, yeah.
Detective,
With
yeah.
a commander-in-chief in your pocket.
A burnt-out detective.
I got a bit of Nick Nolte about me in 48 hours.
Oh, jeez, that's big. Yeah. 22 men have been...
And you're my Reggie Hammond.
Whoa.
Ooh. You ready to go?
No, I'm not. 2 men have been arrested in Melbourne after authorities seized more than 300 kilograms of liquid MDMA. That's the good stuff.
Is there?
Is there any...
Is
there any missing words in MDMA? Because that would stand for something.
It would too, John. But
It's an illegal drug, in case you're wondering.
It was hidden in a consignment of French wine bottles.
Really?
No. The investigation was launched.
Is it a liquid?
Yes. It's 300 kilograms of liquid MDMA.
Yeah.
And that's why they...
French, you reckon?
That's why, absolutely.
Sounds straight in to me.
Anyway, they'll apparently they found the presence of viscous liquid inside 270 bottles of wine, with subsequent forensic testing confirming the presence of the liquid. Whoa, that's big.
I wonder if it was just straight MDMA or it was a mixture of the MDMA in amongst the French champagne, and they can...
Was it a blend?
Yeah, was it a blend?
Was there a bit of Merlot in there?
That's right.
What was it?
But then they can separate it in the after process when they actually get their hands on it at the factory.
I wonder why they used, just word nerd alert, I wonder why they used the word viscous to describe the liquid. Isn't liquid by its... Yeah.
I would have thought so, but what do I know? You mean? I'm just giving a sense of the day over
No,
here.
you don't know anything.
I do not know anything.
No.
Climate change protesters have been arrested after gluing themselves to a Picasso painting at the NGV.
Really?
Gluing.
How's the painting?
They were attached to the priceless artwork, which is an anti-war painting titled Massacre in Korea, for more than an hour. Jeez, that's a long time. That's commitment.
Well, they had the Tarzan grip out, did they?
They must have. The araldite.
Yeah, I
remember it
that.
had that.
Yes.
It had the two together.
Yeah,
Remember
it did.
araldite
Joined
was-
together.
yeah.
It was strong.
John, you're looking more... You're a burnt-out detective, but also a bit of a rev head over there as well. Did you watch any of Bathurst?
I watched the start of it because little Jackie Brown's a rev head and still asking questions, Dino.
What's he asking?
I copped 4 yesterday. When's the go-kart race on down the
Billy
hill?
Kart race.
I think
Billy
Swanee and
Kart
I...
race.
Swanee and I are about... We watched about as much... about the same amount of Bathurst, I would have thought, Swanee.
0.
Thank you.
I
Got
did
it.
see some footage of the camping grounds, and I hate camping. I hate it.
Especially if it's torrential rain like it was up there.
Exactly. Even in the best conditions, camping's not for me. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would do that to yourself. And that camping, did you see it?
No.
It was like just mud and lakes.
No glamping?
No.
No glamping.
Just go to a hotel. What's wrong with you?
I tell you what it was, though. It was interesting, even if you weren't a rev head, because there was so much rain, but then the track had dried out, except for there was a river down the right-hand side of the track after the first turn, and very, very dangerous. And there was a big crash and spin in the first corner, but it was, and so
Oh, my God.
instead of delaying the race, the communication came over the radio for all the drivers.
Yeah.
Make sure you avoid the right-hand side of the track after
puddle.
turn one. The puddle. So that was, instead of going, maybe let's just wait until it dries out for another half an hour or an hour, we're just going, hey, boys, I know there's 28 of yous. You know, you'll be going in like bloody bulldogs going to that first turn, but just avoid half that side of the track.
I've just worked out what's worse than watching the race, and that's actually you describing the reading the minutes of the race to me.
That's unfair because it was it? It was very dangerous.
Really?
Very dangerous. Lucky someone didn't get killed.
On that
Also,
note,
lucky you didn't just kill Sam.
Yeah, that's right.
Insulting you like that in front of all these good people.
Yeah. No, sorry, mate.
They're lucky. The marshals are about a metre away from about 3 fatalities. They were just standing there minding their own business. Next minute, 3 cars go spinning past them.
Mate, are you going again over there?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
It's a really big deal.
It's a big deal.
Sam.
Novak Djokovic wants to return to Melbourne for the Australian Open. William Shatner called Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin space flight. Remember he went on the flight?
Yeah.
He said it was great, and now he's saying otherwise. He's saying...
Oh, William Shatner was full of praise.
Originally he was. Now he's
Yeah.
saying, my trip to space was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it felt like a funeral.
What?
Well, I would have thought anywhere he goes at the moment, he's almost, he's 1 foot in the box, and then we'll see what happens. Hey, Swanee, the 10. Now, last week, 10s, we were at the Upfronts, where Channel 10, where the networks announced their upcoming shows, Brownie.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Fox still have that? When do you find out if On the Couch is coming back? Sorry, not
They
you.
all do it.
When do we all find out?
I think we had one this year. Last year.
One of the feature shows of the Channel 10 Upfronts was The Real Love Boat. It had previewed the night before, and there was a lot of excitement going forward.
Yeah.
Well, The Real Love Boat has already been bumped.
Oh, has it?
It will now air at 8:30 on Wednesday and Thursday instead of 7:30 after the project. It's been replaced by The Real Doghouse and Gogglebox. So there's a disappointing debut number of $215,000, 215,000 viewers, and then I think you saw someone you bumped into someone who said, no, that'll build.
That'll build.
Yeah, it didn't build. It crumbled to 174. That's nationally.
Was there any direction to the Have You Been Paying Attention cast last Monday night not to dish the new headline show? Because Ed Cavalier threw a little bit of shade towards it.
Well, I
would have thought you're all in the one stable.
Well, no,
stick together.
I think if you'd bothered to have watched the show any time in the last 5 years, you would see that we don't really.
No.
There's everything's fair game on that show.
They're a law unto themselves.
Yeah, so
they're like Monaco.
Oh, well, Love Boat, let's take you out to the hill. Yes.
It's never good news when a show doesn't work.
Is that a rainbow over there, Love Boat? Look at it. Go to sleep.
I feel bad for not having watched it now.
Well, you weren't alone.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Mystic Chrissie.
Straight away, I see barley with you.
I went to Bali like a month ago.
In terms of coffee, you like an iced coffee?
Yes, I do.
I've circled the word gym.
I'm a personal trainer.
Is fortune coming your way? I'm going to say no.
What will she predict next? Yes.
Last week was really good, and generally I have one on and one off. So let's see, Anita from Frankston. Well, that's weird because I wrote water down before you'd even come on, Anita.
Amazing, Chrissie.
Are you also a water sign? What's your star sign?
I'm a Gemini, so no.
Yeah.
You like waterboarding? Is that where it comes from?
Never tried it, Sam.
It's a Saturday night for Anita.
Exactly. Something to spice things up a bit.
Just talking to you, Anita, I feel I can see the magnificent visage of John Bon Jovi.
No.
How could you not like John Bon Jovi, Christine?
Not a fan. Sorry, Chrissie.
You're wrong.
Why can I see a birthday cake?
I don't know. I do like birthday cake, but
Is it
not a birthday coming up.
Is it someone's birthday soon, or maybe just past?
Ex-boyfriend in prison. She tried to sneak a filing.
Speaking of ex-boyfriends, who's Ian, Anita?
That's my dad. definitely not an ex-boyfriend, but
He's
my
in
dad.
prison. He's in the
An
lockup.
important man around you. I just want
He
to
did.
prove,
She wrote it down.
Cement house.
Yes.
proving this. He's not in jail.
He might be.
No, he's not. No,
he's not.
definitely not.
Not
It's a
currently.
good get, Swanee. I witnessed that. Ian was written down.
Ian came to me.
That's huge.
That is big.
That is big.
Why do I see tiles?
Tile?
Yeah, like a cream tile with a bit of
don't-
brown in it.
I don't know. We will be building a house soon, so maybe that's a choice that we have to make.
Maybe that's where you're going to go. And also, the front loading washing machine is going to look great in that laundry.
I love my front loader, yes.
Yes. And you also really like laundry. I've written laundry obsessed.
Possibly not. No.
God
Who
for
likes
that.
laundry?
Oh, Ian is.
I love laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do I see ricotta meatballs?
I don't know because I'm a vegetarian, so
Maybe it's just the ricotta.
maybe.
And I have also written down goat's cheese.
Oh, yes, I love goat cheese.
Yeah,
Love it.
I love it too.
Marry it, Anita.
Exactly. Why don't you marry?
At the moment, you haven't had a kick all day. But
No,
you've,
water.
But you've kicked the winner at the end by the looks of it with Ian.
The water, Ian, there's ricotta. Also, I've got here white linen. Either you like it in your bedroom or you like that perfume, that Estee Lauder perfume. There's something white linen about you.
Not the perfume. If I do correct, I wear white geese. It's that, you know.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, I do karate, so I wear a white uniform.
Right, the white
Maybe.
suit. Yeah, that would make sense.
It's white with a
Yeah.
little bit of red in it for the blood of your opponents.
Yes.
Yes.
Anita, do you like the Karate Kid franchise?
Especially when turn knocking
I
out.
like the original. I like the original Karate Kid. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Do you like essential oils, Anita?
Yes, I do, Chrissy.
I've written that down. Essential oils are your thing. And this is very specific and I don't know where it's come from. You have a dishwasher. That's not it, by the way. You do have a dishwasher.
Yeah.
But you use vinegar in it, not the finishing aid.
No, I don't. Sorry.
That is insane.
That is a big throw up the
That's a
stumps.
big. It's just like, what a...
I do use vinegar in the washing machine as a fabric softener, so, you know.
Okay.
That's for laundry.
That's what
I'll
I've
give
got.
you that.
I've got
Oh,
I'll give
salmon
you that.
vinegar.
laundry,
Seems weird.
front-loading machine and vinegar all on the same page.
apple
I'm
cider
going to take
vinegar.
that.
That's big, Mystic. Anita, do you feel like Mystic is you got your money's worth with Mystic?
Oh, absolutely. She's
What about-
bang on with some things, but, you know, hit and miss.
What about your dad, Ian? How do you reckon?
I know,
he's-
that's amazing.
And also, just get around him today because he's going
Oh, he's
inside
not in
for a
the
long
state-
time.
He's not going
He is.
inside.
He
He's
is.
not
He is.
going to
State of the
jail.
moment, Sam.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Guy Montgomery. You may have seen him do stand-up as he's a comedian or, of course, on Have You Been Paying Attention? But if you live in New Zealand, you may have also seen him on The Drawing Show, Taskmaster New Zealand, and, of course, coming soon, Celebrity Treasure Island. But if you're not in New Zealand, see him on tonight's Have You Been Paying Attention, 8:30pm on 10. Here's Guy.
Are you really en route to the airport, Guy?
I am, yeah, but no trip to Melbourne is complete without swinging by the Nova Studios and checking in with my friends, Chrissie, Sam and Brownie, on air.
That's right. On Nova 100.
That's right, and it's on Nova 100. And it's so much better than those other, bogus radio stations.
Who are they? What would their names be?
Kiss FM. They can't even spell the bloody word.
That's a good point. He's in here to pick up some of my books on the way to the
That's
airport.
right,
He's going to
yeah.
give them to his family for Christmas.
How if that's not signed, it's worth a fortune. Have you signed that one or not? Have you?
That's
this,
it, yeah.
This
You
is
know-
a virgin, untouched copy of Jonathan Brown's Life and Football.
Well, do you know that was that's the reprint.
Oh, wow.
The front cover was more sort of targeted towards men, and it was
I
obviously
see.
me in my gladiatorial fashion. Oiled up in my football gear, looking menacing. And this one is targeted the
young
mums.
Yeah,
the young
that's
mums,
right.
just a
Something
nice
to take
jumper.
home, have on the bedside table when
That's
the
right.
kids and the husband are out.
It's almost like a sex toy.
You are.
Oh my God.
Right. You're
Everybody
on.
knows that goes in the drawer anyway, not on the bedside table.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't happen out.
You and haven't been paying attention to Australia tonight. I say that straight because you do the New Zealand version as well.
That's right.
What's the difference between the two, Guy?
Mostly the accent, Sam. And people don't tease me for copulating with farm animals in New Zealand. They're too busy agreeing.
You notice I'll never do that. I never do the New Zealand stereotype, and I never do accents and like that's I just don't find it.
Oh, I saw you
Zealand.
doing stand-up on Saturday night. You're doing all sorts of accents. You said take a trip around the world with Sam Payne. No country left untouched.
I've got a map. I've got a map of the world behind me, and I get people to point at it, and then I'll give them the accent.
I'm looking at the show schedule. We've got a gotcha call next.
Exactly. Now we got to hang out at the base on Saturday night. And this man was very, very funny. So go and see him if he's in town.
Who was first? Who was first on stage?
Who do you think?
I would have thought Sam.
No. I'd open for Guy anytime.
No.
Ah,
he likes to.
I don't like to have sort of one of the more prominent, well-liked comedians in the country open for me, an unknown sort of plucky young upstart.
Well,
in the world of comedy, Brownie, being first is not the best.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, well, I've seen a couple of gigs where I would have preferred to go first. You know, by the crowd's reaction to the second one. I mean, that's pretty important, though. I reckon it'd be off-putting when you get someone that knocks them out of the park early.
Absolutely.
As the warm-up person. You go, oh, geez, be a bit nervous about my material.
Yeah.
Which is flunked a few times.
Guy, after the gig, we had a beer and someone sent us mystery tequila. Do you remember that?
Do you know what? I don't, because I must have left but just before the mystery tequila arrived. So it would be very difficult for me to remember on account of the fact I was not there.
Damn it.
It might have been Guy that sent it.
Did you give us some
being
mystery
coy.
tequila?
No. I had to go outside on the street to drink whiskey from a garbage bin.
What's the right amount of... Because Sam's obviously new to this caper, getting up there and being a stand-up comedian. What's the sweet spot in terms of drinks? Because Sam, he went for a dry weekend. I didn't drink. Do you have a drink before it? You know, 3 or 4 beers just to sort of loosen yourself up?
No, when you start, I think it's a natural sort of nervous tendency. I would have a beer beforehand, and then now I would probably still have a beer beforehand. On Saturday, for instance, there were 2 shows, and I had no drinks before the first show, and then I had a pint before the second show.
Which show went better?
For me, the second show.
Oh, there you go.
And
For the audience?
The second show.
Okay.
Get on the
after
drink,
the second
Sam.
one, he really pinned the ears back.
That's right.
Really loaded
You
up.
want to hear what I really think? You've got to stick around afterwards.
Like I said, if you missed you at the basement, are you coming back on Friday, November the 11th? You're
Yes.
you're at Comedy Republic. What are you doing there?
I'm doing these improvised hours of stand up actually, because I've recorded a whole show. I filmed a special for Paramount Plus earlier this year, and then all of that material when the show comes out is dead, and you got to generate new material.
Yeah, of course.
And so I'm coming back, and I get the audience, they write down prompts or words or sentences, and I pull them out across the course for now, and I sort of riff around. And from that, you might generate one funny sentence, and then that could become a whole joke.
Yeah.
I like this.
There you go.
Take some
How the
tips.
sausage is made, Brandon.
That's right.
Go to
good.
Comedy
Good
Republic to see Guy there, but also have you been paying attention? 8:30 tonight on 10. We always love to see your face, Guy.
Hey, and it's so good. You guys, I got a flight to catch. But it's one of life's simple pleasures being with you all. It's the #1 radio show on the planet. I don't care what anyone says.
I'll sign that book for me.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
A couple of things. Nick Giannopoulos on tomorrow because Wogboy 3's out. It's in cinemas now.
Yeah. It's supposed to be great. The guy's from Sushi Mango in it, and Vince Colosimo.
Shane Jacobson
What's not to love?
will be on as well. I potted him on Friday, so
that was
not good timing.
Well, you just said that he doesn't do a lot of listening.
Nah.
That's what you said.
I mean, that's all you got to do in a chat. It's 2 ways.
You're inferring that he likes to talk a lot.
Do you want me to bring that up with him? Do you want me to get the grab?
That would just be the best.
Feels as though we should.
That would be the best.
I would
Hey,
never do that to you,
I
Tina.
always envy you. Speaking of listening, I love to listen to your tales of living in the city because you are a young man a single man.
Yeah.
Like really single.
The city's beautiful.
And you live in the city. It's beautiful. What an adventure everywhere.
Stuff happens constantly, and I just have to remember it. And I was walking up Elizabeth Street on Saturday morning to go to the markets to buy some prawns. And I'm walking up the street, and this guy is coming towards me at a medium pace. And in my periphery, I can see that he's wearing real low pants, but he's coming at me.
Yeah. Really?
So I'm like, all right. So he gets that close that I have to look at him. And not only were his pants low, right, there was a definite set of skinny legs between where his jumper ended and his jeans were down. He'd effectively dacked himself.
Yes.
Walking around the city.
That's a look.
He comes straight up to me, looks me in the eyes, and then raises a finger gun and goes, bang.
I like that. I like that.
So what?
That's
Well, that's how
really
you should
that's chilling.
It is chilling.
Why don't you come out on stage like that, Pete?
Yeah, well, thank you.
That's City Living, though.
Was that on Saturday or
Saturday morning, like broad daylight.
So Smallsy had done a show the night before.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie, Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.